Hello everyone and welcome to Connoisseur Tier 3. My name is Thomas, next to me is Lewis and we're here in Italy for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It's light rain here for qualifying. It will be clear for the race. As I said before, Lewis is in the corner with me. As always, how are you doing, bro?
What's up, everybody? Yeah, all good, thanks, Thomas. It's lovely to be back in the, well, not far away from Maranello, and knowing that this track is going to be permanent for the next few years is, I'm looking forward to it, being on the game for a few more seasons, because yes, it's a track that is tricky to overtake on, but it's an old school circuit. I remember it back from way back in the 80s. Well, I wasn't around the 80s, but it's been a track around the 80s, 90s, early noughties. And compared to Monza, it's much more of a technical circuit, elevations, narrow, but you still got this long straight. So the DRS is still very powerful, but that is the main overtaking opportunity. So it'd be interesting to see how quali goes, knowing that the race is going to be dry.
Yeah, I don't think we will be seeing as much overtakes as we saw last week around Monza, like you said. And especially now with the conditions that it will be raining during the full qualifying session, but it will be dry for the race. People will be going out for that dry setup. So it will be very interesting to see if they can keep it on track, as they will most likely run less downforce than they normally would have done if it was going to be a wet race as well. We can see both Red Bulls now out on track, trying to slipstream each other. Of course, no DRS for this qualifying session, so they need to do it pure with their own speed. And yeah, now everyone is slowly starting to get the first lap in, so let's see how the table is looking like after the first couple of laps.
Yeah. Oh, we got a driver off to AlphaTauri rather. I can't remember what most of the corners are around here. I know the famous names like Acra Minerale, Tamburello, of course. But I've forgotten them. Like it's but the AlphaTauri went off at the very top end. There's a yellow at Tamburello, and that's a McLaren. So that's either Shane or Spud. And it's Shane with front wing damage. So Shane is already at a big off, luckily not retired, and he almost loses it again.
Tricky conditions to start with, not rapid. First one to come across the line, he puts in a 124.7. Spot improves to a 124.1, but here comes the Red Bull, as I saw. Campion's already with purple sectors, but he can't continue on as he must have made a mistake somewhere, as he puts in a 125.6. Ruck puts in a 124.4, so slowly now everyone starts to get their lap times in. Let's see what Catcher Silva is doing. He invalidated Shane. He is the one off and causing the yellow flag. Let's see Jay Prentice now. He is coming down towards the last two corners around this track, the double left-hander. Where you can't run it wide, as it will put you into the gravel. Pit entry on the right hand side, but he goes onto the line. And where can he put his Williams? P6 so far with a 125.0.
Who else is coming along? We got a Marina in the AlphaTauri. Sorry, Aston Martin. He's going very slow though. This is not a hot lap for him. Shane has an off right at the end. So he misses out on improving. We got Pipe Tech on a hot lap. At the final turn, what's he going to do again? Not a quick lap time at all. Very slow. Yeah, him and Marino obviously maybe had offs. Sure.
Ooh, pure blades. Really good qualifying lap from him. 124.3. Only 2/10 of pole position, which is now in the hands of Austin. And Blaze roots it up just in front of Blades, if you can still keep up with everything I'm saying. Above in the 124.3s.
Yeah, now looking. So you got. It's super close considering it's wet conditions. Both top two, well, apart from Austin, forget Austin. P2 onwards, got yellow. Spud 124.1, 124.333. by third, fourth, and fifth places. They're all in the 24.3s. We've got another yellow. I'm not sure who that was.
I'm wondering if Sketcher Silver now gets into the 123s as well. I'm wondering if Austin is running a wet setup purely for qualifying, as he knows how hard it is to overtake around this track, which could be a strat, don't get me wrong, but I think
there's a Red Bull
yellow
off.
coming out of the chicane.
Yeah, just lost the back end. Who was that? Camping Ducks. Yeah. And again, wing damage, but fortunately still in the race.
But yeah, it could be a strat, going for the wet setup, trying to get yourself on pole position and defend pretty much the whole race. Don't know if it will pay off. We will have to wait and see. But maybe Austin is running a dry setup and it's just ridiculously quick in these intermediate conditions. That could be the case as well. We have to wait and see. Currently on board with Phantom, as he is coming towards the end of Sector 2, starting Sector 3.
Bless me. Right, okay, so we have got Austin still comfortable at the moment. Cacho, the only one, like you said, in the 123s. I expect guys to get to 123s because normally with a wet track in quali, it does get grippier because there's a drier line that emerges, and that's only going to improve as the session wears on. So I do expect the times towards the end, unless there is an increase in intensity, as Phantom now joins the 123 club with a P2 123.820. Oh, and Danny Boy loses the back end, but he avoids hitting the barrier on the inside, which is obviously very easy to do on the exit of that chicane. And he's coasting away, but he lives to fight another day.
Let's see if Shane can put in a lap. Hasn't been able to, as he crashed on his first lap, or at least wasn't able to put in a representative time on his spot retires, and that is coming out of the second chicane.
That's very strange. Well, yeah, he must have just lost the back end and then hit the wall on the inside. On the exit of that chicane. Only there, I think.
And Shane runs it wide and invalidates his lap. So still not a time on the boards for R4 Shane, and I don't think that is what he's been hoping for. And he is putting big pressure on the next couple of laps, as it's clearly not going his way. There is a Williams in the back going wide as well. That was Jay Prentice, and he goes into the pits probably to put on a new set of inters.
Now, Shane going for another attempt. So obviously he's fueled pretty highly. Oh, he's lost it, and he's out. And the Ferrari just avoids him. So coming out of Tamburello, the back end slid. So luckily was witness to it. But yeah, just lost that back end and slid into the barrier. That dry setup that majority of these guys have been running, it's making it really tough, particularly on the back end. Has, meanwhile, is now P2. And 123.3, and Rackvan is 123.7.
You can see Shane's tire is still on track.
Yeah. That's both McLarens then out of quali.
Yeah, both McLarens. At least Spot has been able to put in a lap. Like I said, pressure was on Shane, as he wasn't able to put in a lap together. And it exactly showed, because he's out now, trying to push too hard.
Yeah.
So McLaren in P7, which can only get worse, and then McLaren in last place. Orange boys are not happy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so we've got Phantom coming towards the line, and it's an improvement, 0.3 improvement, 123.4. That's P3.
Yes, so people now slowly start to
we got a Mercedes off
to get close to Austin. That is max?
I'm not sure.
No, it's not rapid. No weak damage from what I can see.
It won't be rapid off there.
Austin is definitely not going to improve on this lap. He is 2.7 seconds down on his 123.1. Asmania has gone into the pits. Phantom just improved. Let's see what Catcher Silva is doing. He is down on his lap time by half a second, so no improvement for Catcher Silva as well. Is it the conditions getting worse, or is it just people not being able to put a good lap together?
Yeah, it looks pretty consistent. There's not much spray at all coming out of the cars. So it's not a wet, a very wet track. And offline there is more spray, so definitely a dry line. I think just people maybe pushing too hard, making mistakes. It's so you can lose so much more time from such a smallest of mistakes in the wet, which is why it's really such a respect between drivers when you see guys doing so well in those conditions. Because it's just, you have to be so much, you get paid, you just pay the price so much more for the mistakes you make, no matter how big or small they are. And maybe that's just what's happening in these quali laps. But we got enough time still for more. And there's a guy on, Blades is on softs in pits. He's got softs ready, so maybe the track's supposed to dry out. Or Blades is doing a magic trick. Or he's changing the tyres now.
You figured out it's not worth it trying to go out on softs. We have Marina going for an improvement. Both Aston Martins looking really strong here around Imola. P1 and P3. Only Hasmania is in there to split both of the green machines.
Here we got a few yellow. Mercedes driving slow.
Oh, and Marina improves even more. A 122.9. First one to dip into the 122s. And now it is the task for Austin to do exactly the same.
Yeah, that's impressive. Austin now on that hot lap. I think we should try and watch this quali lap from Austin. Can he fight back? It's quite a gap. Quite a statement at 122.9. Ooh, he almost loses the back again.
He's on an improvement. Cost him probably a little bit of time, but not too much that it was not worth going again. So he can still continue on with his way through the long left-hander. Make sure you don't run wide, as it will invalidate. And then the double right-hander up the hill.
Oh, he somehow just keeps it in. And he's 600s up.
Is that enough? That is not enough. At this stage, the gap will be only a couple thousandths of a second between both teammates.
Yeah, it's crazy. Unless this Sector 3 is so much better.
It looks good. It looks really good.
Oh,
I think Austin is going to take pole position again. On towards the line. Close. And there it is. By a tenth and a bit.
He gained 2/10 in that final sector, and it was really good. It was a really good final sector. And that's what clawed it back, because he was down. But in the end, it's a tenth of a second ahead of Marina. Game on. We got a duel.
100%. Here comes Blaze in P12 at the moment. On towards the line. And he improves to P5. Really good lap by Blaze. He will be happy about that one.
Who else on a hot lap? Has is on a flyer. He's 4.5 tenths up, but he's invalidated. Oh, it's such a shame. He was 4.5 tenths up. He had a terrible final sector because he already knew he cocked it up, but it still would have been good enough for a better time than he did previously. He was so far up, he could have been on provisional pole. But still, fortunately for him, he's in that P3 position. If he's got enough fuel, he could take a slow lap now and then go again one more time.
Asmania is pushing him 1.3 seconds down through sector 1. That's not what you need. Phantom coming across the line. He was on an improvement. Can he improve even more? No, he can't. Stays in P4.
Blades doing a time currently 600s down on his previous best though. E13 currently for the Alpine driver. Lose pipe tech out of the bus stop. It's pretty good for Blades. And it's enough for P12. This is a very minimal improvement, but it's an improvement. Oh, Bell Prentice has gone off, and he's out as well. And that's Tamburello, the exit of Tamburello. And he tried to hit the barrier square on, hoping it would be a front wing damage, but it was just too much impact. And El Prentice also off, and there's another driver off as well in the gravel. Oh, it's Ragvan. And I think Haz is on a hot lap. Yeah, he is.
Phantom as well. Now coming towards the last two corners. And he still has time to go again if there is enough fuel in the car. Oh, he runs wide. It is definitely not going to be an improvement, and it's going to cost him lap time on the straight for the next lap as well. So I think that is pretty much qualifying over for Phantom unless he has a brilliant sector 2 and 3. Have a look at Tasmania, 1.5 tenths up. It's looking good for the AlphaTauri driver. Catcher Silva puts it up into P4.
Yeah, Haz did run wide, but he's still a tenth and a half up, so not quite the improvement of the previous hot lap, but a tenth and a half would be good enough to get him back into definitely P4. This is crucial, this final sector cuts it really nicely. And here we go, then Hasmania across the line. And it's enough for P3. What a final sector. Brilliant from Hasmania to get back on that second row. Crucial. Rather than being on the third row.
Is Blaze on for an improvement? Oh, he runs wide. Up the hill. And he's down on his previous lap, and he's got a Ferrari behind him pushing as well. That is Catcher Silva. He already finished, so no stress on that part.
Oh, he's validated Phantom. Not Rapids coming towards the line then. And he gets to P10.
Gets to P10. Blaze. Now,
that's it.
On towards the line. Can he jump a position? No, he can't. He improved by almost a tenth, but it wasn't enough to gain a position. So that is the qualifying session for tonight. With Aston Martin on the front row and AlphaTauri on the second.
Yeah. It's like real F1 except for the different teams.
Yes.
Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, Aston Martin and AlphaTauri. But it's a good grid. I'm surprised Dan wasn't higher up, because in the past, wet conditions has always been his speciality, really.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. But that's normally when it is during the race.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I expect Dan to make positions, just to give him that commentator's curse. Sorry, Dan. I expect I expect him to definitely be ahead.
So here are the results of the qualifying session. Austin in pole position, Marina P2, Hasmania P3, Rak van Zieten P4, Catcher Silva P5, Danny Boy P6, Phantom P7, Raymond P8, Creator Magic and P9, Not Rapid P10. Then P11, Sygate P12, Chip Prentice P13, Spud P14, L Prentice P15, Pure Blades P16, Pipe Tech P17, Camping Nux P18, Max P19 and Shane P20. And I think this is the first time that both Prentice brothers are not side by side on the
Wow.
starting grid, if I'm not mistaken. There is one car in between them. How can he? Unacceptable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good evening, Matty. Good to see you in the
Evening.
commentary box again. Ricky as well. Things you absolutely love to see.
Absolutely love to see you. Nice to have you on board, Ricky.
So everyone, get your predictions in the chat, please. Lewis, what is your podium prediction for tonight's race?
Okay. Well, it's blue sky dry, so I've got to consider there's no wet weather. Could be a different form to what quali was like, but I still think I fancy Austin, and I mean he was quick last week. Austin, I think, will win it. But P2, I'm gonna go for. I think with P3, it'll either be Marina, boring, I know, or Has. I'm twisted. I'm going to go Has for P2 and Marina P3.
Fair enough. I think that Marina is going to win this race. Catch Silva P2 and Hasmania P3.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Like I don't know what our record is. No one's actually kept a record. We haven't written
No.
down like how good we are. Because it's probably a good thing. Probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing. Interesting choice of tires, by the way. We've got Austin and Danny Boy both on the mediums inside the top 10. And then we've got Spot, Blades, Pipe Tech, Camping Dogs, Max and Shane also on the mediums. The rest of the grid is on softs.
And the thing is, with this, if you do start on the medium, it's okay as long as you don't have constant safety cars, like we witnessed in Monza last week. Or if the safety car is later for when it works with your strategy anyway. The soft tyre around here can still do quite a few laps. I don't know about you, but the soft and medium, it's an easy one stop. The soft, it's a pretty good tyre. The medium just lasts even longer. You know, the medium is the best race tyre. And obviously the pole sitter starting on that medium tyre is thinking that. Because why play a longer game? You know, you're at the front. I do always find, unless you're right at the back, sometimes when you're in that P14 to P11, you've got that option of potentially going on the soft tyre just because you'll have a fresh soft and be able to like take advantage. But you've got to have a good start. So yeah, it's interesting. That's what the wet weather's brought us up with. Obviously, with the new game, this will be a reality because obviously there is no longer the you have to start on the tyre you qualify on rule.
Yes, I really like that. Brings a little bit more strategy into play, as it is quite boring with, well, pretty much all of the tracks being a one-stop strategy. It at least spices some things up, but like you said, safety car can throw everything out of the window. Strategy completely gone. We go again, like we saw at Monza. So yeah, we will have to wait and see. Everyone is now slowly starting to get into their grid slots, and then we are good to go to get underway here at Imola. Let's get a good camera angle for the start of this race as we were waiting for Shane to get ready. Everyone is ready now as we're trying to get 5 red lights. The 12th of April around Imola, it's 5 red lights and away we go. It's a really good start from Marina, of course, on those sorts. He already gets past Austin, his teammate, so that is swapping places. Hasmania is getting past as well. Big crash. Hasmania is out, and it's not only Hasmania out but also my prediction. Big damage for the AlphaTauri. And safety car out already.
Wow, that's drama already in this opening lap, and what that does completely wreck. Also, I mean, the safety car at least saves the blushes of Austin, but he's on the medium tyre, so he's either now got to go onto the hard tyre, or maybe what would be a good strategy is pit for medium soft, and then go back and go another set of mediums to try and do the whole race. But I don't think you can do the whole race on a medium. It really has messed Austin up here.
I don't know what happened. Did you get a good view on what happened between those two?
I did.
It must have been.
No.
Yeah, it must have been his mania trying to like. What you see drivers do sometimes when they brake, they sort of come across and shut the door, as it were. I think something must have happened, or maybe it was Austin getting sandwiched between Tasmania and Marina, and that something has happened. I don't know, but it's strange because Marina was already well past Austin on the start, so it's a strange one. This.
Yeah. It's very strange, but they must have just been too close together, and that corner does kink, or it's a straight. It does kink to the left. It's so much easier to make contact because you are still having to turn in that corner. So yeah, unfortunately, it has races over straight away, but also. Austin, he's down to P18 and he's gone on the soft. So, does he now just stay on the soft? Or is he going to go back in the pits and do a medium?
That's a very interesting shout. I think he is probably trying to make his way through the field as soon as possible, hoping for another safety car and then make his pit stop onto the mediums again. At least that's something I would have done, because, well, of course you can't guarantee another safety car coming out, but the chances must be at least above 90%, I would say, especially with a track that is as narrow as Imola, with the history of EU3, with the late safety cars pretty much every single race. So I think it's worth taking the risk, trying to make up as many positions as you can at the start, hoping for another safety car and then going either on the hards or mediums, whatever you prefer. Danny Boy is definitely not worrying about those kind of scenarios at the moment, as he is in P3 on those mediums. Brilliant start by him. At least my top 2 from my prediction is still intact, and it's absolutely correct at the moment. I can't get it 100% correct, unfortunately, but at least I will cherish this one.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've got one left. That's Marina.
Oh well, also he can still come back. Don't rule him out yet.
Yeah, that's true. There could be many twists in this race, as we always tend to experience here in the Contest of Speed Tier 3 series. One more lap, I would have thought, behind the safety car before we're back to green. And what this does do is it allows the soft runners to extend their stint, perhaps by a lap or two, which will mean that they will be more competitive on the medium tyre. So all in all, it's an advantage more for the guys that are started on the softs. I always find if a safety car comes out, because you haven't been able to spread the gap as far, but you're saving your softs and able to extend your stint. So, which means your medium run will be much better as well. It's these guys are obviously looking out for Danny Boy. He's the highest running medium tyre runner, currently P3. He's the only one where I'm like, he is looking good, because he's still so close to the softs. The guys further down, like P11 onwards, you're going to get the field spread. But if you're in P3, you're right there in the action. The safety car is going to come in this lap.
Safety car coming in this lap, so it will be Marina dictating the tempo.
I saw a Red Bull go off in the background. I'm sure it was a Red Bull. I think it was Camping Ducks. Or, I don't know. But there was definitely a Red Bull that went off track. But we'll see.
Yeah, or Jay Prentice. At least Marina is gonna go. It's already a 1 second winner between him and Cacho Silva, so he needs to do some catch-up work in this race. Danny Boy is following closely behind, of course, on those mediums. With Raymond, Phantom, Blaze, Psychic, Not Rapid, Dan and Alprentice finishing off the top 10. Already some gaps, but it should create a sort of a clean start. It goes ham at the back between Camping Duck, Shane and Blades. And Camping Ducks gets out in front. P11 it is for the Dutchman.
Oh,
And Shane is so close to the back.
Marina's gone off. Sorry, Thomas. Marina went wide, and Marina's lost the lead, and he's got dirty tyres. Unbelievable.
So Catcher Silva now back in the lead. So we have 3 different leaders already in this race.
Yeah, crazy. It didn't even look like he made a mistake. He managed to just run too wide. With the Alpha and the Haas. Phantom has got past Raymond. And the other Alpha, he runs wide, and the other Alpha of Blaze is going to go through. Yeah, Raymond not happy at the moment. Now the Red Bull, Cygate eyeing him up. There's not much room there.
Ooh, Raymond was having a look, but Blaze shut the door.
Yeah, Cacho Silva with the fast lap, unsurprisingly. There's that back, but there's a real battle going on for that P7, P6, 7, 8, 9. Dan is involved in it. Only P9.
Yeah, Dan will be happy to be in this train. He still has a shot at P5, although he's been put under pressure now by Alprentice, but he stays in front.
Yeah, it wasn't far enough alongside Alprentice to make a move. Pure Blades gets a 3-second penalty. It's a shame for him. Oh, the Red Bull defending. Cygate and Not Rapid. Not Rapid is through. Cygate, has he got wing damage? No, he hasn't. He's good. Oh. Meanwhile, Danny Boy and Phantom. Phantom's going to try and go around the outside, and that was always going to happen. Danny Boy should have backed out of that. Ah, that's such a shame. He didn't have the grip. He should have just, rather than tried to brake. I mean, he'll feel like he had the racing line. And he did. But at the same time, unfortunately, the Phantom was far enough alongside to still have the right of the inside line. And was ahead in the corner, actually, to be fair. So, yeah, unfortunately, Danny's now right at the end of the queue. So that's another medium runner out of sync. So it kind of shows, really, you are more susceptible to being eaten on that medium tyre at the beginning.
Ooh,
really
sorry to interrupt. Spot, Pipe Tech and Austin all going at it. As I think Spot is now past, and I think Austin as well as he cuts across Pipe Tech. But it's all gone well. Oh, Austin runs deep onto the gravel. But he stays in P14 at the moment. But yeah, the medium tire guys are definitely vulnerable at this stage, as the softs are still so much quicker. What I wanted to say is, Marina and Catcher Silva, they need to play it smart and they need to work together and pull away from P3. If that is the case, they can drive their own race later on when the race is settled. But for now, just try and pull away as much as possible, as Marina will get DRS and Phantom don't.
Yeah. All kicking off here. Cacho has half a second. Marina is fighting back. Marina has DRS. This could be the switch here of position. And here he comes. Marina round the outside. The DRS is so strong.
Yeah, but this is not costing them any time. This is fine, because it was 1.8 at the last corner. It's 2.1 now. So they gained 0.3 purely because of the slipstream, but they need to keep up this pace, because Phantom, he seems quicker through sector 2.
Yeah, and that's that important. That's it. It might indicate high downforce, set it.
Yeah.
Because that is the technical area. Especially if he seems to be losing, well, he will be losing time, because these guys will be using DRS on each other, which will help dramatically in that time. But Cacho doesn't seem to be on the pace, so he has to be careful. He has to use a bit of energy here, Cacho. Blaze gets another 3 seconds. Yeah, he's almost outside of DRS here, so he uses the ERS to stay in just in still that zone. Yeah, because Phantom went down to 1.8. But unfortunately for him, he's going to lose. Yeah, I'm just looking at Phantom. You lose literally 4 tenths of a second.
Yeah.
5 tenths down the straight with DRS.
Ooh, and Saigate then gets past Saigate for P8 in this race.
Oh, we got yellow.
Oh, Blaze!
Yeah.
And another safety car.
Yeah. And this now, if you're a soft runner, do you pit?
Yes, I would pit. Because otherwise you have to pit within the next 4 or 5 laps anyway.
Yeah.
You will have at least 2 or 3 laps behind the safety car, so it's not gonna cost you as much tire wear as it would on the green flag conditions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would pit 100%.
Yeah. And so this is going to change everything. So we expect maybe some soft runners that will take a gamble and go carry on, hoping that there either is another safety car or just works out with the field spread being at the front and then pit in when you wanted to truly pit. But Shane's coming in. Marina, Silva, Phantom is coming in. Raymond, not Rapid, is coming in. So does Apprentice.
Okay, mediums for Marina, mediums for Catcher Silva as well. So yeah, probably committing to the one stop now, soft medium. Try stretching those towards the end of the race. Yeah, everyone going medium. Raymond is on hards though.
Interesting.
Everyone else medium. Literally everyone else. Apprentice hards as well. And Phantom together with Blades going for the softs.
Yeah. So that means our race leaders have dropped down to P8 and P9 respectively. But of course they have now done the mandatory change of tyre compounds. So if you're new to F1 rules, in a race like this you have to be on 2 compounded tyres. So you start either the soft, medium or hard, and you've got to finish on at least one of the other compounds, or do at least one change of it. So a lot of these guys at the front have now gone on to the medium tyre to also be able to hold on now for the rest of his stint, while the guys up ahead who are on 8 lap, 6 lap tyres, they're going to have to stop at some point. So I suppose for them, they would kind of want a safety car around the point of when they want to stop, because it will force the guys that have just pitted now to pit onto softs. So we have a spinner, and that is Rakvan. Rakvan spun off, so he's now at the back of the field.
Under safety car conditions, that is interesting.
Meanwhile, Danny Boy is going very slow, so we're probably going to have another lap under safety car.
Both McLarens, P1 and P2. Shane from last place on the grid, now in P1 leading this race. Who would have thought about that? Camping Dogs P3, Jay Prentice P4, Pipetech P5. Now we're seeing all the people outside of the 10 who, like you said, Lewis, still have to make another stop. Marina was the one leading the race together with Cacho Silva and Phantom. They of course are the ones firstly on the grid with the fresher tires. Really interesting to see what both Phantom and Raymond can do. Of course, Phantom, he will be the one looking to attack, try to overtake as many people. Raymond, he would want to keep up as much as possible with the guys in front to not lose too much at the beginning stage on those hards.
Yeah, so everyone. Oh, we still got. Rakvan is on medium, so he must have got wing damage as well. I would have thought no matter what happens now, the safety car will come in.
Yes, agree.
Yeah. I've had safety cars can be savage. If they decide to, they will go in. got a half a lap to go. So yeah, Rackvan has no issues with catching up the field, the snake. So the only guys on softs is Phantom and Pure Blades. I kind of don't get Phantom's choice of softs. Really don't.
No, same.
It just sort of makes sense. Either it's an error because he has to stop again. Safety car is now.
Yeah, safety car coming, not because of the tire rule, but purely because the softs are not going to last for 22 laps.
Well, Phantom also did start on the soft anyway.
I thought he started on mediums.
No, Phantom was on the soft.
Never mind. Then I literally don't understand why.
Yeah, exactly. But oh well.
Waiting for the restart. Shane already has a gap, so I would just use it and try to pull away, and that's exactly what he's doing as he runs a little bit wide coming out of the last corner, but he has a 7-10 lead to his teammate behind Spot. Both McLarens leading the way, and we've got a battle going on already. That is Casio Silva and Phantom going at it.
You got Marina and Max as well. Marina's on the inside, makes the move. And that's crucial. Oh, and Silva hits the back off that Mercedes. And that Ferrari desperately trying to get move on quickly, and he does, running wide. And Phantom also gets through. Phantom with those softs has so much more grip. And he's going around the outside of Silva, and he does it. Look at the grip of those, that soft. It's unreal.
Ooh, here comes Max and Raymond.
Yeah.
Oh, he shut the door there on Raymond. And now he's been put under pressure by Not Rapid. Prentice has to be very cautious there. Catch your Silver runs very deep. Max almost ran into the back. And here comes El Prentice down the inside of Not Rapid. Oh, and he makes contact with Not Rapid. El Prentice is round. Big wing damage as well for one of the cars further back. Both him and Raymond spun actually.
And look at this, Max is back past Cacho Silva. So Cacho Silva, I think, has got wing damage, I reckon. I think he got wing damage from
goes into the pits.
Mercedes. Yeah. So Cacho Silva now out of it. Prediction's going brilliantly. Not both of us. Both of us.
Oh my days.
Marina's literally both of our only hopes in this top three. And he is currently behind Pipe Tech. Oh, he went over the curve heavy. And Phantom had a look. Oh, Phantom almost lost the rear end. Phantom obviously flying on that softer compound, but he will have to pit. And he probably will pit around lap 22, 23. And the other annoying thing for him is he can't even pick a soft to finish on. It will have to be a medium, because he's yet to have gone on another compound other than a soft. Oh, Pipe Tech has a little off. Marine almost hits the back. He's in a Haas sandwich. Sorry, it's not a Haas, there's an Alfa Romeo behind him. But he's in a Haas / Alfa Romeo sandwich. The Aston Martin getting the exit though. Has the freshest softs, mediums rather. Down the inside. And it's a move for P5.
DRS is enabled once again. So we will be seeing the DRS from next lap onwards, but here comes Phantom already trying to make a move around the outside of Marina. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can before the braking zone. Phantom now up into P5.
Yeah, lovely move there. And obviously for Marina, he doesn't have to worry so much. So, yeah, Phantom on the move. It'll be interesting to see how many more laps he can keep this pace up before the performance starts to equalise between both.
Nelson in the chat asking if this is open lobbies. No, this is league racing. You can sign up by the link in the description if you want to join us as well. We race on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday.
Spun it! Unbelievable, Marina's lost the back end! Ah, the commentator's curse is complete. He's lost. Yeah, he just lost it. Sorry, Thomas.
No,
he went
no
over
worries.
the exit curb, and yeah, just completely lost the back end. Didn't really have a chance at all to correct it. And yeah, He's down P10.
Yeah, I'm more devastated by the fact that literally my whole prediction has gone
Same.
out of the window. Like, what is going on? Hasmania has retired. Catcher Silva's in P12 and Marina's in P10. And I had all three on the podium.
Yeah, but obviously, Marina, he hasn't. It's not the end of the world. He hasn't got damage. He probably lost 7 seconds from that incident, from that spin. He can still fight it back if there's safety cars. But that back end looks really loose. And on the softs, he may have been able to get away with it, but on the medium, I think it's just a little bit pointy on that front end. But he's got to remember, so theoretically, Not Rapid is our race leader if you include if the pit stops occur under green.
Yeah.
Then Not Rapid is our race leader now, and Dan would be P2 currently. But he's got to keep that pace up.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, he picked up a penalty already. Jay Prentice is now picking up a penalty himself. So you can't just sit back and relax. He needs to keep on pushing. Talking about pushing, that's exactly what Jay Prentice is doing at the moment. He's putting Capping under some big pressure. And now with the help of DRS should be able to get his Williams past that Red Bull as Phantom puts in the fast lap of the race. He closed into the back of Spot. But we're gonna quickly have a look. Jay Prentice is passed and Phantom is passed as well. So we are seeing 2 overtakes on the straight for P2 and P4 in this race.
Yeah, such great pace. But yeah, Phantom coming through. I mean, the only sort of good thing is there would be a safety car, but he still would be on the medium tyre, so it wouldn't. Well, a lot of people would be. If there's a late safety car, be on the soft, so it's still not really leaves himself out exposed here. Phantom, as Austin sets fastest lap. Austin had a quiet one since obviously the beginning of that one. He's back on another set of softs, which I'm surprised with, and it's P13. And Marina's all over the back of Dan and Max here. Dan lining up Max here. Now, Max hasn't got DRS this time, so it should be a given for possibly both Marina and Ferrari. Max absolutely goes for it. There's got a yellow in sector 2. It's Ferrari. It's Cacho Silva. Cacho Silva's off.
No way. Yep.
As the Ferrari of Dan is through past Max. Max all loses the back end. Marina's lining him up. Not quite able to do it. Marina desperately trying to find a way through. Max is on old medium straights from the beginning, and he gets another 3-second penalty.
It's funny to see, if you look at the minimap, there's sort of like 2 races going on. You've got one group now on the start-finish straight and one group through sector 2. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's so spread out, this field at the moment. A lot of people pitting. Oh, Shane gets penalty now.
Marina runs into the back of Max. And I'm not surprised if that is wing damage for Marina.
It doesn't look obvious on the TV.
No, not obvious, but on test we can see if there is damage for Marina. But he definitely lost time with it. Shay now, he needs to stay with Phantom. He can use the DRS to try and pull away from all the people behind, but he still needs to make his pit stop. As Sygate picks up 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's all coming through now. So Phantom in the lead, ahead of Shane. Spud in P3. Spud doing well. And then Jay Prentice, Camping Ducks, Pipe Tech. And then Not Rapid, who is well, in terms of people who have pitted, Phantom is technically the first one. But the one who won't need to stop again is Not Rapid in P7. He's coming under pressure though now. Dan is actually quicker than Not Rapid here at the moment. Almost in that DRS zone. He's just outside of it at the moment. Now he's inside it. So, and he's got, I think, a bit of ERS in store. Yeah, not rapid, using a bit of ERS there to make sure he stays out, so Dan doesn't take advantage of DRS.
Very spread out field. Only one within at 1 second is Camping Ducks. Ooh, we've got yellow. That is Shygate. Virtual safety car.
Ooh.
This is a prime opportunity. Well, it probably takes too long for the front runners to make a pit stop.
Yeah, I think they're on the wrong side. Unfortunately, it's come at the wrong time.
But it would have been the prime opportunity for them to make a pit stop and don't lose as much time to the rest of the field.
It's a shame.
I think Shygate is gonna give up on this one. Although, no, he's gonna continue on. He puts on a fresh set of soft tires and look at the virtual safety car. Shane can make his pit stop now. Which he doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Spot going to make his pit stop? Yes, he is. Smart play by Spot. Oh, then. So we've got green flag conditions as soon as Spot comes into the pits, and we've got a drive-through penalty for Dan, and that is not the first time this season.
Yeah, you've got to be careful if it's close to ending. You can't go negative on that delta because you will get a penalty. I know people feel it's unfair. It's like, well, the problem is what they're trying to do is not someone taking advantage right at the end of a VSC.
Yeah.
They give you the opportunity before that, earlier in the VSC, but not when it's ending. At 19 to 32. So now I don't really have a clue who's going to win this. Phantom is still pulling away from Shane. Not Rapid is 2.7 clear of Marina. So despite 2 spins for Marina, he's actually not that far away from the back of the Mercedes driver. And Spud will be interesting to see. He's 14 seconds behind the next person, showing the gap between the field. He's 14 seconds behind, but yet 6 seconds clear of Dan. There's a lot of time to make it. Oh, we got Shane off. Oh, he's in the pits. But he was off there. It's a Mercedes that's off. It's Max, I believe. Yeah, it must have been Max. So that means that Shane's come out ahead of Spud, but still a big gap from those guys ahead.
Pipe Tech now, he got past Dan. So we've got Shane, Spot and Pipe Tech who all pitted on the last lap. What did you want to say, Lewis?
Oh, sorry. Phantom still, going strong. If I have a look on his leader chart, we got 9.9 seconds between himself and Jay Prentice. If he pits now, he will be coming out. He will come out in P6. Oh, not Rapid. Ducks pits now. He decided to go for it. We got yellow in sector 1. And white.
Double stop for Red Bull, which for this game has gone surprisingly well.
Yeah, we've had it in the past, haven't we?
Yeah.
Where
Oh, I
it's
can't
frozen.
remember. It's a shame that Steve is not in this chat. He
Yeah.
had an absolute drama at Hungary. I last talked about it with a couple of friends of mine, where we had that pit stop glitch, where just one car was stuck in the in front of the pit box, and the other car wasn't allowed to make a pit stop, and it was just race over. Steve, it was his first time leading a race ever, and he got that pit stop glitch. It was
Yeah,
heartbreaking
absolutely heartbreaking.
and funny at the same time, but for Steve, it was really heartbreaking.
Yeah, that was that day. But anyway, moving on. Lap 22 of 32, we've got now Jake Prentice and Phantom pitting. So Phantom, as expected, goes onto the medium. Here goes Not Rapid, so No Rapid is now your race leader ahead of Marina. And Phantom is still under safety, is still under speed limit, still under speed limit. The McLarens are coming along, and that McLaren's going to get ahead. So Shane has got back ahead off the Alfa Romeo, and also has the advantage of being on the soft. So it's not worked out for Phantom at all.
Yeah, thing is though, those tires of Shane will slowly start to go off. If Phantom is able to stay within that 1 second window to get DRS on a start finish straight every lap, I think maybe towards the end of the race he can have a shot. As Shane still has got those 3 seconds.
That's very true. Marina is right behind now, Not Rapid. He is almost in, or he is in that DRS zone now. I think this is where we're going to get potentially the change as they head towards third turn. Good final few corners there. It's 7 tenths, 8 tenths. He's trying to claw his way in. It's quiet. He's not going to be able to catch him this lap. Need to be about half a second. He's saving his ERS for a proper attack when he's close enough to him, which he is now.
Ooh, look at this. Is Jay Prentice gonna follow as well? Freeway battle for P6 in this race. But Camping Dogs gets past. Jay Prentice still has to wait behind Pipe Tech.
Yeah, we've got 10 to go. A lot more people now back on the soft tyre. And yeah, Phantom starting to lose a bit of ground to Shane. Still within the 3 seconds. Marina's all over it. Not Rapid here. We've got a yellow because of Red Bull. Going. Oh, Marina gets a penalty.
Oh, yeah, and it almost
And
lost
Not
the back
Rapid
end.
pits. Not Rapid decides to pit. Very interesting. But to be fair, if you look at it, Shane's only 6 seconds behind our race leader, and he's on softs. The Shane could still do it, you know.
This is going to be a really interesting race towards the end. If
Yeah.
Shane can keep up the pace, but the gap is getting bigger. It's
Oh, yeah,
6.9, where it was 6 seconds a couple of minutes
Yeah, I think
before.
this is Marina's first lap. Been a long time where he can be his true pace. He's
Yeah.
not being held up, so yeah, maybe we're seeing that now. Saying that though, Phantom is marginally gaining, and he hasn't got any penalties, Phantom. So neither does Camping Ducks.
Yeah, and Camping Dogs has 2 warnings, sorry. So, Marina on 3 warnings. So he can afford himself to pick up another 2 and not get his second penalty.
Absolutely.
Let's have a look.
Let's see.
Can Jay Prentice make a move on camping ducks for P5? He got past Pipe Tech. Now it is his task to get past the Red Bull.
And Not Rapid is lining up Dan with those fresh softs. Yeah. Shame for Dan.
Well, he's still in the point paying positions.
Yeah. But he is on old mediums. Lap 15 now. So, got another penalty from Max. We're on lap 25 off the 32. And although, like, the gap is coming down, Phantom is now 6.9 behind. Really, we at 6.8 actually now. It's just 6.8 seconds. So he needs to gain 3.8 seconds to win.
Yes.
No pressure. Lap 26 now off.
Oh, and he picks up another 3. I think
Shane.
that is game over for Shane.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Absolutely.
Here comes Jay Prentice now. Yellow in sector 2, so he is allowed to overtake.
Spud doing a good job. P4. Divided by Phantom, but he's not far away from Phantom. 2.2. There's a big 8-second gap to Jay Prentice. And Camping Ducks following closely behind. Oh, that is an AlphaTauri, isn't it?
It was Raymond and Pure Blades almost crashing together. As
Right.
Rock is completely destroying his own race, but he's also having a big impact on this race. If he triggers a safety car, Blades is off. He is back going again.
Yeah.
Oh, but Rock, what is he doing? Like, these are the things I just don't get. You know the tires are overheating. Just go steady onwards. Pure Blades gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Oh,
And Rock is going again. I can't look at this. Literally it's triggering me to death.
Yeah. The EU3. It's.
No, it's not. It's not even EU3. It's just. I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't say it. We go on. We move.
Okay.
We move.
Marina, 4.7 clear off Shane. It's not as dramatic, this change in performance now. As expected, in fact, Phantom is starting to claw his way in to the back of Shane. 1.3 is the gap between P2 and P3. As El Prentice got past Blades, it looks like. Oh, it's because he's gone to the pits.
Yeah.
Softs.
Phantom, to be fair, is doing pretty well to stay with Shane.
Yeah.
If he can gain even more, he can maybe still take the victory in this race, as he's the one without any penalties.
Yeah. He's currently 5.8 behind a race leader, so obviously he needs 2.7 seconds. I think he possibly can get it. The pace he's going at, he just can't afford to get a penalty. But yeah, he's very close, not far away.
As the rest of the field is pretty spread out. Phantom almost lost it there, going up the hill. Haven't seen a race being, I don't want to call it boring, as we have seen a lot of action, but with a field spread out this much. It's amazing to see, actually. It's not really the right word, but
it's surprising, isn't it?
yes.
It is surprising. But it just happens when you've had guys that have had to pit more than they would have wanted to because of either damage or wrong tyres. I think that's what's really spread this field out, is the people having damage, drive-throughs. It's not helped with the field being bunched up since the last safety car, anyway.
Yeah, and I think the people who made their pit stop after, I think if it wasn't like a forced pit stop where they had to stop, Phantom. Phantom throws away his chance of a victory in this race by picking up the 3 seconds. What I wanted to say is, I think the people who tried to gamble on another safety car really paid the price, as there hasn't been another one coming out. Not a virtual safety car as well, where they could have made a free pit stop. It was a virtual safety car around lap 20, and that's it.
Yeah. Agree. And about to go 3 to go. 3 laps to go now, starting now as Marina goes through, and Pure Blades just behind, so it's the new fastest lap on those brand spanking new softs. You love to see it.
Look at Phantom. He's within that 1 second window of Shane, and imagine him without a penalty. It would have only been half a second for him to take victory in this race. You can see how costly it is picking up that warning. He's paying the price now.
Yeah, but he can still get a P2 here.
Yeah.
Be a great result.
He will get it either way if he is not picking up another penalty, as Shane has 6 seconds.
Yeah, lovely. Not rapid is quite far behind Capping Ducks. G Print is spread out. Phantom. Oh, we got yellow sector 3. That is a Ferrari. It's not retired Ferrari. It's Cacho Silva. Cacho Silva not having a great one at all. Yeah, but here's Phantom. Oh, and Cacho Silva is reversing. He's hit the wall again. And this time got front wing damage. But anyway, Shane is going to be, unfortunately, a sitting duck here. Like you say, he's going to lose the pace anyway, unless Phantom picks up penalties left, right, and centre.
Here comes Phantom down the inside. Just enough room for a car. And he gets in front.
Lovely. So,
yeah, in the pits.
Marina, 2.5 seconds, 2.6. You almost say his pace has dropped off so much. You know, if there was a few more laps left, Phantom could still make the move outright.
2.4, 2.3. He has the pace now.
Yeah. Pure Blades is just ahead of Marina, so should get DRS. Oh, this is going to be the nervy bits, the final lap.
Final lap with 2 seconds. It's not enough. Prentice retires. Oh yeah, he does it in the pits, fair enough. As we start at lap 32, out of 32, last lap of this race. With Marina in the lead, 1.9 seconds ahead of Phantom. Shane very closely behind, following in P3. From last place on the grid, he did an amazing job nonetheless. But I think Marina has just a big of enough lead to hold off Phantom.
So, here we go then. Final sector. Gap is 1.6 between Marina and Phantom. Shane keeping it honest, still staying within that 1 second, just and Spud as well. Fair play to him. Yeah, I think 6 seconds of penalties, but that is still enough to stay in his 4th place. And if anything, he's not far away from Shane. There we go, Marina out of the final turn.
Out of the final turn, and he is taking a brilliant P1 in this race. At least something what I predicted was right. Him taking the victory. Phantom in P2 drove a brilliant race as well, with Shane coming from last place onto the grid to finish P3. Spot really well done P4. Jay Prentice now coming across the line for P5. Camping Ducks will take P6 in this race, as he was without any penalties together with Not Rapid in P7. Pipe Tech coming across the line now for P8. Then on 22 lap Old Mediums is going to finish P9. And Raymond will be the one taking the final point in this race. P10 it is for the Haas driver. And now the unlucky ones outside of the point paying positions. P11 it is for Danny Boy, as he had a really tough race tonight around Imola. And the same could be said for Austin, Max and Blades. Danny Boy now. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, mate.
So we didn't think Austin would be battling or finishing P12, did we?
No, definitely not. It's purely because you said, and you predicted him on a podium, that I said something else, but to be fair, my first thought was him on the podium, so purely because he showed some brilliant pace through quali. You would expect someone to keep that up during the race, but things can happen. It can throw you out of your rhythm, and well, it shows what it can bring. A really bad race to quickly forget, but you've always got one of those races within a season. You got to deal with it as much as possible and then come back stronger next week. But for now, there will be champagne in the Aston Martin garage as Marina finishes P1. You can see him here on the podium together with Phantom and Shane. We will quickly invite these guys to the commentary box so we can get their view on today's race. So let's see. Shane, Phantom and Marina. So we're waiting for them to join the commentary box. Here it is, the final standings of today's race. Marina finishing in P1, Phantom P2, Shane P3, Spot at P4, Jay Prentice P5, Camping Ducks P6, Not Rapid P7, Pipe Tech P8, Dan P9, Raymond P10, Danny Boy P11, Austin P12, Max P13, Blades P14, L Prentice P15, Catcher Silver P16, Aquasita P17, Cygate P18, Blaze P19 and S Mania P20.
Now, it wasn't quite as dramatic as Monza, but it still had its moments, and fair play, Marina showed a lot of pace, got the job just done. But yeah, it was always tense at the front, and in the end, those couple of safety cars did switch a few things up, and different strategies came out from it. The two-stopper almost worked.
The two-stopper almost worked, yeah. Let's see. We've got Phantom and Marina in the commentary box already. It's now waiting for Shane to join as well, if he is able to. We can start off with Phantom, I wanted to say, but here he is, Shane.
Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. First of all, congratulations on finishing P3 in this race, coming from last place to the grid to finish on the podium. Probably didn't expect this one, did you?
Well, I was expecting to finish in the points at least, but to be this high up, I didn't expect that. But then again, I had the perfect view at turn 1. I saw the carnage happening. It was everyone bunched up there, so I hoped I could have gotten a couple of places there, which actually happened. But then the race itself, I drove pretty well, and then the safety car restart wasn't really wasn't really good in my opinion. I wasn't happy with it. But then I started driving away from my teammates, so I knew my pace was better. Well, I don't know if he was holding up the rest of the field and playing the team game, or if he was actually slower than me. But got P3 in the end, and I'm very happy with that. So,
Yeah, we saw you picking up the penalties, which at the end didn't really give you a shot at the victory in this race. Do you think that without those penalties you would have been able to finish higher up, or would it have been P3 anyways?
I don't know how close I was to Marina at the end. If I was within 3 seconds, then I probably, if I didn't have the penalties, then I probably would have won. But I mean, I changed my setup to have more straight line speed, because if there's anything I learned from last season racing against El Prentice, it's that I need more straight line speed to be able to keep up with him. So that's what I'm going for this season, more straight line speed, which obviously didn't help in the corners, and yeah, I got a lot more penalties than last season at Imola, so the setup really helped to give me some more warnings. But in the end, I'm happy with the results. So
Yeah, it's been a brilliant
also,
result. Oh yeah?
also my teammate in P4, that's a great result for McLaren.
Yeah, it didn't show particularly good during qualifying session, but yeah, you guys made up for it. Really good result from McLaren and a really good P3. Congratulations, mate. Go enjoy it.
Thank you, I will.
Going on now to P2 in this race, Phantom. First of all, congratulations on taking P2 in this race. One of the only ones to try and make the two-stop work. Was it always going to be the plan to make a two-stop, or was it purely because of the amount of safety cars that it was looking like a very good option?
No, first thank you for the congratulations. No, it was like planned, because yesterday I was driving in EU4 and it did go really well. I think even yesterday I would be able to win the race in EU4. Today it was P2. I'm still happy. It would be even P1 without my penalty. It was really stupid, the third one. I really like screamed in the party. I was not alone. I was with Rapid. And yeah, I was like fucked up, because I saw like how much speed I gained in the race, and even with the soft tires, I saw like I was on 56% on the right tire, because the right tire is getting the most, and so like I can still speed up with them, and I was, I think, like 12 or 13 laps in with the softs at my second stint, and still was able to get away at some point. Yeah, and then I just saw like I get the advantage at the mediums, saw Shane passing me. Yeah, and then it was only like to get in this DRS zone and maybe get near the first one to the Aston Martin. Yeah, but it was, everything was planned, and I'm still happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it turned out to be a brilliant plan, as it worked out pretty well. Did you expect to be this high up in the results, or was it quite a big surprise that you were suddenly fighting for a victory in this race?
No, I was thinking that I get minimum like top 5. It was expected, because I have a great pace on this track. I know what I be able to, and I think without the qualifying in the rain, I would be able even to take P1 here, even at the qualifying, because I know how fast I can go.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. P2 at the end, still a really good result. Congratulations, mate. Go enjoy it.
Thank you, thank you.
And then going on to our race winner, Marina. First of all, congratulations on taking the victory in tonight's race. You had quite an interesting race, I would say. Did you get a good look at what happened at the start? Because we saw a collision between Austin and Asmania. You were already past Austin because you started on a softer tire. Did you get a good view on what happened, or was it a big surprise to you as well that you saw some carnage behind you?
Well, there's always carnage in turn 1 in Imola, because it's so tight and people don't expect it. So, but it was a bit of a surprise seeing the other AlphaTauri deciding to go 3 wide, and my teammate didn't have any space, so he couldn't really go anywhere. So ended up being a collision and a safety car from lap 1.
Yeah, it was a really weird and strange incident. After that, you got caught up in a little bit of mayhem. You a little bit of moments throughout the race. Was there any point during the race where you thought, no, no way I'm going to finish on the podium, or are you still quite confident about taking a good result back home?
Well, I was talking with my engineer, and luckily I had him because I was losing hope, because I spun two times and went off into the gravel one time as well. So I thought, it wasn't gonna happen. But the guys in front of me luckily hadn't made their pit stop, and I could capitalize on that. So I was lucky. But I think if I didn't have those 2 spins, it wouldn't have been that close towards the end.
Yeah, but yeah, towards the end it got really close because of the penalties as well. Was there any point going through your mind that you were thinking, no way, I'm not going to get the victory in this race, or were you still quite confident to keep those guys at least 3 seconds behind?
No, Ramon, Phantom was he was actually within the 3 seconds on the last lap, and it got quite close towards the end, as you say. And before he got the penalty, I was sure that he was going to win it, but he got the penalty, and of course, unluckily for him. But also a massive shout out to Pure Blades for giving me the slipstream on the last lap there, because I really needed it.
Fair enough. Always in for a little bit of good team play, Pure Blades. Well, congratulations, mate. Really good drive, especially with all the activities going on in your race. Brilliant P1. Congratulations, enjoy it.
Thank you.
And with that, it rounds off the interview and the stream for tonight. Congratulations once again on everyone who finished on the podiums and took points in this race. And thank you, Lewis, for joining me in the commentary box. It was a pleasure as always.
A pleasure as always, indeed. Thank you, and congratulations to the top 3 as always. Great quali and a very interesting race, especially with a race of 2 halves. And look forward to the next one. Where are we at, Thomas, next week?
Well, you're always asking me this question, and I need to get it.
Portugal.
You love to see it.
Yeah, Portugal.
Yes. I just wanted to say that. Yeah, Portugal next week. You'll love to see it. Blaze was already quicker in the chat as well than I would have found the answer. Things are happening. I will be prepared next week. Portugal next week, always a good one. So definitely looking forward to it. With that, it rounds off the stream for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. If you don't want to miss anything from Control Speed, make sure you follow us on Twitch and on social media to keep up to date everything related to COS. Tune in tomorrow for the EU2 race, and on Thursday for the EU1 race. We've got AM2 and AM1 going on in the late midnight as well. For now, this is the end. I want to thank you all for tuning in, and as I always say, have a good one, stay safe, and goodbye.